Hey guys, thanks for joining us for another one of these dialed in NFL podcasts. This is a brand new podcast that you can dial in and be a part of. All you need to do is click that little link in the chat and you'll come up on the screen with us and you can ask your questions, be part of the show, give your feedback, and the whole 9 yards. Without further ado, I want to introduce my co-hosts. Tonight we have Michael over at Huddle Card Collection. How you doing, brother?
What's happening, Anthony? Doing well. Thank you, sir, for asking. Appreciate it.
Yep. And then we got my guy John over there at Fire Starter Breaks. How you doing, Johnny?
I am freezing, but I am good. How about you?
Yeah, I'm pretty cold too, man. It's not too warm here in Pennsylvania.
You got any snow
there? And yeah, we got some here in Pittsburgh.
I got some on the ground. We didn't get any new yet. It's supposed to be something big this weekend.
Yeah, same thing with us. Unfortunately, I would much rather have the snow. We're getting the worst. We're getting, like the freezing rain, which is really going to cause troubles here with all the hills and everything, and stuff. And between that, I don't have to worry about the ice. I got a 4x4. I got four-wheel drive. I don't have to worry about ice people who go ahead and drive like maniacs. So
that's good.
I'm sure the weekend will be very light on road traffic.
I'm sure it will. Before we get into the news of the NFL, I want to get into what teams we're going to be doing with the Chat GPT Showdown. So we're going to continue this series that we're doing. So we're going to go
Jimmy
NFC or the NFC Championship games. And since there's really only two, I figured the easiest way to do it is we're going to do a good old-fashioned coin toss. So I'm going to let either Michael or John go ahead and select heads or tails. And upon selecting heads or tails, they can pick what team they want to, or excuse me, what game, AFC or NFC.
Tails.
All right. Which you want to do the NFC game or the AFC game that doesn't have a quarterback?
NFC.
All right. Boom. Heads. So I guess we're AFC. So good thing it's all time because we don't have to rely on Bo Nix. John, since Michael picked the first one, do you want to pick the second coin toss?
Sure.
I'm
going to go tails.
Okay. And do you want to be the all-time Broncos or do you want to be the all-time Patriots?
Ooh. I'm going to say the Broncos.
It looks like did we get heads again?
Did you flip it?
No, because it says one on there.
Yeah, the time changed, so it did change. So
you
flipped
it's heads.
So then I guess we're the all-time Patriots.
God, you gotta be kidding me.
The team from Boston.
I mean, I don't like Brady. That's why it's like I'd rather go with.
You know what though? We're probably gonna win with the Patriots. Because you got Brady to Moss to Gronkowski to like all kinds of disgusting combinations.
What's up, Dave? Whatever.
Jimmy and Dave are in the house. What's up, guys? Good to see you both. So let's see what ChatGPT wants to go with. Best Denver Broncos. ChatGPT's draft is incoming. Let me share the screen.
Well, they got Broncos, so they're going to take Elway, probably Terrell Davis. The tight end will be Sharp.
Yeah, you just literally mentioned almost all the people that are in the pictures there. So, yeah, you got at quarterback, you got Elway. Running back, you got Terrell Davis. Wide receivers, Rod Smith. I mean, honestly, I might have gone Brandon Marshall, but I guess that's not terrible. Shannon Sharp for tight end. Zimmerman at tackle / offensive line. Prater at kicker. Then you got Tombstone Jackson as the defensive end. Malik Jackson as defensive tackle. Von Miller Randy Gradishar,
Wow.
Champ Bailey, and Steve Atwater.
Hello, Chuck. How are you, sir?
What's up, Chuck?
Fuck nasty.
So that's a pretty decent squad that they have, but I'm pretty sure that we could probably come up with something that rivals that. As far as this John Elway pick, do you guys think that that was the way to go, or would you have gone Peyton Manning?
I don't know.
I would have went Elway. Just because I mean, yes, I understand Peyton was there, but I don't know. You think of him more as a Colt than you do a Bronco.
Makes sense. So as far as this upcoming week's games, what do you guys think of the matchups? Or do you want to wait to talk about that? You want to actually go over what happened last week?
Well, talk about last week. I mean, there's news we could talk about too,
Yeah, let's go over last week and talk about some news.
I mean, last week, it's funny, I didn't think it until it didn't come to my mind until Larkin said something on my live on Wednesday. I mean, on Sunday. But when you look at the quarterback play, it was terrible. I mean, unfortunately, Josh Allen picked a bad game. He had a bad game.
Yeah.
Bo Nix was no better. CJ Stroud, terrible. Even Drake May. Was nothing special to write home. Caleb didn't play well. I mean, what's his name? Stafford, okay, but not crazy. I don't know. The quarterback play was not that great this weekend. Yes, obviously Purdy didn't do much in that game. Look at what the score of that game was. And then, Seattle, they put up a lot of points and everything, but, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, that's what I thought about the whole thing. I mean, it's a shame what happened to Bo Nix.
Yeah, that was the hardest part for me was seeing what happened to Bo Nix because that basically makes this next round a lot less meaningful. Standby, what's up? Good to see you. Appreciate you hopping on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It just goes to show you, everybody thought, when you look at the quarterbacks, when you figured, the youngsters and stuff like that, they showed that they're young quarterbacks. You had a couple of veterans that didn't play that well. So we'll see. It's going to make for an interesting divisional series.
Yeah.
Well, how was our matchups last week?
ChatGPT was 4-0. You were 3-1. I was 2-2, and John was 2-2.
Cool. ChatGPT undefeated.
But a lot of stuff going on. I mean, it's funny. Mike McDaniel, who is interviewing for the former Dolphins coach, he was interviewing for the offensive coordinator's job at the Chargers. And he's told the Cleveland Browns that he has withdrawn his name from contention for being their head coach. So you think about it, there's a guy who would rather, it's not like he's going anywhere bad. He's going to go to Los Angeles to potentially coach Justin Herbert, rather than being the head coach in Cleveland, with what they have going on there. But McDermott getting fired by the Bills, that was, you think about him, Tomlin, and, Harbaugh, all, three long-time guys all getting the axe.
Yep. Yeah, it's interesting.
Well, Tomlin didn't get the axe. He just retired, right?
Well, yeah, he just stepped down.
So I don't. Is he really going to be looking for another place to play or coach, or just?
From what I understand on sports radio, he is basically done. Like he doesn't have any interest in coaching anymore.
Well, the thing you have is he still has 2 years left on his contract. So if anybody were to want him to be their head coach, they're going to have to trade for him.
Yeah.
Like the same way like the Broncos, I believe, had to trade for Sean Payton. I mean, yeah. From that standpoint. What's interesting was Mike McCarthy's name came up for the Steelers.
Yeah. He's going to be interviewing tomorrow, I believe.
Then Tennessee went ahead, and I'm very surprised. I'm surprised the guy is getting a second shot so quick. But Tennessee hired Robert Saleh.
That's all that.
Former Jets head coach, former Niners, defensive coordinator. Very, very interesting. I was definitely did not expect, to see him pop up that fast. But then again, when you think about it, with 11 openings, I mean, I know 3 of them are full now, but you think about, a third of the league needed new head coaches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So people are going to go ahead and get an opportunity, rather quick and everything.
That makes sense.
Trade rumors are going crazy.
Oh yeah.
Lamar and stuff like that. There's talk of Lamar getting traded. A lot of people think the Bills are going to call up the Eagles and try and get A.J. Brown up there. To give Josh Allen a number 1.
That'd be good for Josh, man. Like, could you imagine if he had, like, anything? Like, not that he doesn't have anything, because Cook's awesome. You know what I mean? He does have a few guys that can do something, but he doesn't, like, have any legitimate, like, weapons that can change a game, as far as the receiving.
Yeah, no, like, outstanding wide receiver. Just kind of mid-core.
I mean, I think the last good one he had was Stephon, Diggs when he was still, decent.
Yeah. Very true.
Agreed.
It's going to be
good. What were you going to say?
I said it's how some of these, coaching decisions, come about is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Because with Baltimore, they still have a lot of good pieces there. So you would think that, they still believe that they're in more of a, win now rather than, win later mode.
Right.
Yeah. I would think so too.
Some of these other ones, who knows?
Yeah. So jumping into our matchup here versus ChatGPT. Man, I'm liking our odds. I've just been like looking at who they've picked, and I'm just thinking of like who the Patriots have had at some of these positions, and there's some really nice talent to pick from. Is there even any reason, and not just saying we're going with Drew Bledsoe here?
I'm all for it.
I.e. Tom Brady.
See what happens.
Well, the Bledsoe would be a good, like, what would happen with him after the fact? Like, could we still win with
Chuck, I don't think you're wrong. I mean, I think Allen is young enough. I mean, it depends on what they put around him. If they can put everything around him, I think he'll have a shot. But you're right, he may go down with Dan Marino. At least Dan Marino made it once, though.
Wait, do we really go with Tom Brady, or we could go with Jim Plunkett? Just saying.
Curtis Martin.
I was literally going to say Curtis, my favorite Martin. Can't go wrong with him. He's from Pittsburgh. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, no kidding.
He also married Tony Braxton. I don't know if you knew that or not.
Chris Martin, wide receiver, they have number one is Wes Welker.
Yeah, I think we should go with Randy Moss.
But I would go Randy Moss probably.
How the hell is Wes? Probably just from a length of career standpoint.
He probably had more catches than Moss.
He should. He's been there a hell of a lot longer.
He has the most receptions. Leader is, as far as yards, is Stanley Morgan.
Yeah, the old Stanley Morgan.
Want to go with Gronk?
Yeah, you have to. Or Ben Coates. But I think you got to give the fake TB12 his favorite tight end.
Yeah, I would agree.
The Bills if the Bills can get a good, like a number one wide receiver, they got a good tight end. But I mean, to your point, Dave, you're right. If they can get a good wide receiver, good things will happen.
Yeah.
John Hanna? That what they saying? Maybe.
John Hanna would be excellent.
I don't know what. I'm just going off of brain.
Off the top of my head, I was thinking Matt Light, who was like a cornerstone of 3 Super Bowls. They also had Logan Mankins back then. But John Hanna's probably better than both those guys.
Yeah.
What do they say, John?
I did not look that one up, so I'd say we just go with it.
Then kicker, I mean, do we pass on the best of all time, Vinatieri?
Well, according to this, Steven
Gostkowski
is a little bit better. Not much, but a little bit. He has 98.3% compared to 98.1% for Vinatieri.
I mean, honestly, either one of them would be good because I'm pretty sure Gostkowski was there for at least a couple of the Super Bowls.
From
I think Vinatieri's probably better all time because he went on to the Colts.
Yeah, I'd say go with that one.
Defensive end.
They don't get any of that.
Andre Tippett? No, he was a linebacker. Was Richard Seymour a defensive end or a defensive tackle?
I think he played both. Yeah, according to this, he was a hybrid. So I would definitely say maybe Seymour at end and then maybe Wilfork at tackle.
Oh, yeah.
He was huge and fat. You always like that.
He was a big man.
Linebackers. I know they had Willie McGinnis at one point.
Teddy Bruschi, outside. Teddy Bruschi was inside.
Yeah, he was inside, wasn't he? They also had Vrabel. So, do you go with Tippett, Vrabel, or McGinnis on the outside? Although I guess Vrabel could be inside or outside. But then again, Bruschi's probably a better inside than Vrabel. Bruschi there.
Yeah.
That's not like really a debated one. So outside then, do you go with McGinnis or do you go with Tippett? Tippett holds the sack record.
Really?
Yeah, but McGinnis holds the postseason sack record.
Chuck says Willie.
Willie it is. Cornerback, I would imagine that's probably Ty Law. Did they have anybody better than him? I know Christian Gonzalez is pretty good right now, but he's pretty young still.
I think Kyle would be the way to go.
Didn't they have Darrell Revis?
Did they have Revis?
Sad but true.
Maybe we go Revis then. We
Yeah.
go Revis or Ty? John, you can be the tiebreaker. No pun intended.
Let's go Revis.
Better use the island. And then would this be
Rodney Harrison.
that's what I was thinking.
Oh, yeah. Good call.
This is going to be an interesting one. I'm going to say we win by 10.
I'm going to say 7. We win.
Any prediction on your end, Michael?
It's hard for me to say we'll win because of that team, but I guess I have to.
You could say we lose. I mean, there's that possibility.
Let's see what ChatGPT has to say about this.
Chuck says we win by 6.
All right. So we are in a neutral dome, perfect football conditions. ChatGPT has power run, vertical shots, brutal defense. We are surgical efficiency, matchup nightmares, and clutch DNA. So opening drive, dialed in. Brady comes out calm and surgical, short timing, routes to Moss, then Gronk off the seam. Drive stalls inside when Atwater jars the ball loose from Gronk on a crossing route. Vinatieri nails a 38-yard field goal, 3-0, dialed in. ChatGPT's response: Elway tests Revis early, tight coverage, so Denver pivots. Terrell Davis rips off back-to-back 8 yards behind Zimmerman. Play action hits Shannon Sharp for 22. Drive stalls at 27. Prater hits a 45-yard field goal to tie the game at 3-3. Momentum swing. Von Miller explodes off the edge, forcing Brady to throw. Champ Bailey undercuts Moss on a huge interception. Elway capitalizes perfectly timed post to Rod Smith, beats zone coverage for 31 yards. 2 plays later, touchdown. Terrell Davis powers in from 3 yards out. 10-3. ChatGPT. Dialed in answers. Brady goes tempo. Moss draws Bailey deep, opening underneath routes. Curtis Martin grinds out tough yards versus Gradishire on 3rd and goal. Gronkowski bodies Gradishire on a fade, 10-10. Third quarter. This quarter becomes a defensive chess match. Seymour and Wilfork collapse the pocket repeatedly. John Hanna opens up massive leans, but Malik Jackson clogs up the middle. Revis shadows Rod Smith. Moss sees bracket coverage. Scoring: Vinatieri 41 field goal, Prater 52-yard field goal. End of the third is 13-13. Fourth quarter, big moment. Elway rolls right under pressure, fires on the run to Sharp, 25 yards, vintage stuff. Davis pounds the defense, wearing them down. Play action boot, Elway to Sharp from 6 yards. ChatGPT goes up 20-13. Big moment number 2. Brady responds like Brady, 12-play drive. Moss finally slips Bailey on a deep comeback. Gronk converts 3rd and 10 by tripping Atwater. Brady hits Moss on a back shoulder fade.
I gave them
Game 20-20 with 2:11 left. Final drive, Elway gets the ball. Davis breaks a 12-yard run. Elway converts 3rd and 7 with a laser to Rod Smith. Clock drains under 10. Prater lines up for a long attempt. Is it going to give us the score?
They will. That's the thing.
Yep, they nailed it by 3. They won. Apparently, they controlled it with Terrell Davis. Hit the explosive play when it mattered. Defensive pressure from Von Miller and clutch late game by Matt Prater. Let's take a look at the stats, and then if we want to sub in somebody, we can. Elway had 276, a touchdown and a pick. Terrell Davis had 118 yards and a touchdown. Rod Smith, 7 catches, 94 yards. Shannon Sharp, 6 catches, 71 yards, a touchdown. Von Miller, 2 sacks, 4 pressures. Champ Bailey, 1 interception, 4 passes broken up. Brady had 289 yards, 2 touchdowns. Martin had 86 yards rushing. Expected more out of that.
Yeah, I'm just very surprised that Martin only got 86 yards.
Yep. Moss had 6 catches, 101, and a touchdown. Gronk had 8 catches, 92 yards, and a touchdown. Seymour had a sack and a half. Revis allowed 1 catch over 20 yards. So, do we want to sub it, or do we want to just call it a loss?
I don't know who you'd sub.
I know.
I mean,
The other one I would sub is
they have a better running
We'd
back.
still lose.
We pull in a different running back, like Mike said.
We could put in another running back. Who else we put in there? Like a Corey Dillon or like a Kevin Falk?
Thinking maybe Falk, maybe.
All right. So let's see. Change. Kevin Falk for Curtis Martin. Pass game running back, matchup stress, tempo control. We now identify spread formations, Brady and Falk option routes, Gronk Moss isolated matchups. So really, we just want to see what the difference is.
Who had the ball last?
Tie
game.
It literally comes down to whoever gets the ball last.
And Vinatieri lines up, and he hits it.
We would have won with Kevin Falk. He had 7 carries for 32 yards, but he also had 9 catches for 88 yards and a touchdown. So that was like having a second wide receiver. Although Moss did less with him being
says
there.
put in Wes Welker for the heck of it.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. For instead of Moss?
Yep.
Okay. Death by precision.
First quarter ends up 3-3 again.
It literally always comes down to it's 13-13 at the end of the third for each of these. I'm guessing we won this one too.
The way it looked, 23-20 maybe.
Looks like Welker had a nice game too. Yep, 23-20 again. So I guess Welker erased some of the negative plays that we had with Moss.
It's all good.
You live and you learn.
That's very interesting.
Who would have thought Kevin Falk is better than Curtis Martin?
Well, that Wes Welker is better than Randy Moss.
Very true.
It's all about relationships.
Yep.
It really is. Well, what do you guys think is going to happen in this upcoming week? We got 2 big games to talk about.
ChatGPT is picking New England Patriots because of the Bo Nix injury.
Yeah, I have to agree. I mean, honestly, if Bo Nix was healthy, I would probably be picking the Broncos in this matchup.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't get behind a Jared Stidham Super Bowl. Like, I just can't do it. So, Drizzy Drake is going to the Super Bowl, it looks like.
I would take the Patriots in that one as well.
I'm going with the home team. I think they can win this one. They're going to play inspired football. Everybody's counting them out. They're going to rally together. Drake May showed that he is, human against that. I mean, Houston defense is incredible.
They're so good. They humbled me, man. Like I didn't know they were that good.
Yeah,
they are so good.
I think Denver's defense can do enough to slow them down.
Who does ChatGPT without the NFC game?
Pardon me?
Who does ChatGPT have in the NFC?
ChatGPT has selected Seattle Seahawks.
I kind of agree with that.
This is a tough one for me because every bit of me wants to pick the Seattle Seahawks, but then in the back of my mind, I go back to, well, Matthew Stafford's the best quarterback in the playoffs right now. But then again, that was my argument for Josh Allen coming back and winning against the Broncos last week, which I wish to God would have happened. We would have had a much better game with the Patriots if that would have happened.
Yeah.
But it's so hard for me to pick against Stafford right now with the way he is playing. But everything looks like the Seahawks are just in a roll. Even the last two times they played, I'm pretty sure the Seahawks have beaten them. And the last few games the Rams have played, they've barely won. Like they've just squeaked out wins.
Yeah.
So this one's really tough for me. But because of Matthew Stafford, I'm going to pick the Rams.
I too am picking the Rams. I just, I don't know. I just think on turf, I think the Rams are going to play better. Rather than being, outside in their and what they played on they played on grass, and they did play on turf, I believe, in Carolina.
I think Seattle's had some rest time. Some good rest time. I think the Rams are just going to be a little too tired.
They do it, and Seattle did not have a tough game this weekend against San Francisco.
Here's the other thing I kind of am concerned about too when it comes to Seattle. Like I love Seattle. They're one of my dark horses from the beginning of the season to do really well this year. But one of the things I'm concerned about is Sam Darnold like capable of going to the Super Bowl? Like, I mean, I know he's one game away from it this year. You would think he was one game away from it last year. But is he that guy who can like go up against the best defenses in the NFL and stand in there and make plays consistently? I guess that's what we're going to find out. I just think Matthew Stafford might be a little bit more better at it.
You just like him because you had him on your fantasy team. That's all.
I also have been a Stafford fanboy for a long time.
No, boy, I mean, when you look at it, Sam went 12 for 17, 124 yards against San Francisco's defense. 1 touchdown, 2 sacks. QBR of 63.2.
So the odds are right now, Patriots are 5.5-point favorites. And the Rams are 2.5 underdogs.
Now the Seattle has lost Zach Charbonnet. That of that 1-2 punch with Kenneth Walker III.
That makes a little bit of a difference. You know what I mean? Like you're going to lose a little bit like later in the game where you could have that change of pace or a fresh guy coming in. You know what I mean? Like you could still send somebody in, but it's not going to be the same caliber as like a Charbonnet.
I just think the way the Rams looked last week, if they played the same way, there's no chance. I think it'll be a close game. Maybe another 3 or 7 point win, but gotta like the Hawks here.
I mean, Seattle has, everything on their side, from that
Yeah.
standpoint. I mean,
They're home. They've won the last few. They have momentum.
And they're at home.
yeah, and being at home goes ahead and it means something. I thought that the Rams were probably the most complete team that had from an offensive and a defensive perspective. I think they've had that all year long. They got Devontae Adams back now. You saw what he could do with that catch, that couple of those catches that he made. You have Puka. You're not going to be in the cold. You're going to be in a controlled, whatever, 72 degrees, 74 degree, whatever the number, they have the stadium at.
I see your point there. I do. Don't see your point with the Broncos, but okay. I mean, that would have to be a hell of an upset. Now, if May gets knocked out during this, then I could see the Broncos possibly winning it too.
Well, Denver's what, a 5.5 point underdog, 5.5?
Yeah.
I think. So, I mean, like I said, I think their running game is Denver has Harvey has been running the ball well. Now again, hey, they may come and say, you know what, we're gonna put 8 in the box, and we're gonna challenge, Jared Stidham to go ahead and beat us. We're not going to sit back. We're not going to sit back and we're not going to sit back on our defense and let it come to us and stuff like that.
Has this guy played a game in the NFL yet?
Yeah. He was actually originally drafted by the Patriots. They thought that he had the potential to be Tom Brady's replacement.
Yeah, I'm still sticking with the Patriots. I don't like them, but
how many people went into their old boxes digging for Jared Stidham this past week?
Waiting to see they go ahead and they win. All of a sudden, you're going to see a crap ton of them listed on eBay on Monday morning.
Mm-hmm.
Monday morning, let's do a 7-day auction for a Jared Stidham
for like a card. 5 to 10 times what they were worth.
Especially if he's starting in a Super Bowl, absolutely.
They go from worth 2 cents to now worth 10 cents. And the game schedule is New England at Denver, 3 p.m. on CBS. Los Angeles at Seattle, 6:30 p.m. Fox.
They're both on Sunday, right?
Yes. Yeah, Sunday the 25th.
Nice.
I don't know. Like I said, I just think, I'm just taking I'm taking Denver because I just think the emotion that they're going to have for, Stidham to want to go ahead and play well out of his absence. I think Wattis is going to be his brother, I think, takes over from him, if I remember correctly. So a little more pressure on the other guys, but not, in my opinion, not a whole lot, right? Because they're not expecting much from you when they're, their number one guy goes down.
Yeah.
And I can see Denver playing, hey, let's win this for Knicks, since he went down. They have that little motivation there. So it's a possibility. See that.
Definitely a possibility.
We'll have to do something special for the Super Bowl this next.
Well, I think, like I said, the weird part is that, you basically have 2 unknowns in the AFC at quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And then you do kind of, you have the cagey veteran in, what's his name?
The young upstart.
No, I can't remember now. Damn it.
I think it would be really good storyline going into the Super Bowl to have it be Drake May versus Matthew Stafford. So it's been basically like them two running a two-man race for the MVP. I think that'd be a good way to kind of end it. Like see who's really better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have to do something cool for the Super Bowl. Think of some way to incorporate some of the commercials and stuff, maybe, and do something cool to cover that. Do you guys think it's even worth covering the Pro Bowl, or is it just hot garbage? It might be fun to do a fantasy Pro Bowl draft, but beyond that, it seems kind of hot garbage to me.
It is now that they made a big football game.
Well, I think it takes. Well,
I like with Mike. I like the skills part of it, but everything else is kind of. I mean, you make it a flag football game. No, that sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Just get rid of the Pro Bowl altogether. Just do the skills and be done with it.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Because at that point, you got to figure. I mean, trying to pick an all-time NFC or even an all-time AFC team.
Yeah, if you're gonna do that,
you get to a point where you're just splitting hairs.
Yeah,
for sure. I mean, you'd probably have to choose off of modern day AFC, NFC to make it fair, because you're basically choosing the best of the best either way.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, half the players picked for don't even want to play.
Yeah.
Because Tress Way's the only one that made it from our team. He's already stated he doesn't want to play in it.
I can understand that, though. I mean, even though it's still flag football or only flag football, right? I mean, you still have that opportunity, an ankle or a knee or a hip.
True.
And you could still fall and, hyperextend your elbow the wrong way and stuff like that. I just think, to me, some kind of a skills competition, I think would be, if you want to do something, to be honest with you. I mean, the AFL against the NFL. I mean, the AFC versus the NFC, even in a football game, it really didn't excite people.
I agree, Dave.
Yeah. They definitely need a better vision package there in the NFL.
Yeah, some of that man across the board. Some of the refereeing was not there. Also,
yeah,
calling something in one game and not calling basically the exact same thing in another game. I don't understand how that part happens. When you're going to the freaking replay booth, it ain't like it ain't like you're making that decision on your own.
Yeah, no, you kind of have up with it. And probably from New York as well.
Yeah. Right, that's what I'm saying. They go to the review thing, and I mean, you have that whole thing that happened in Buffalo with Cooks catching it, and as he goes to, he's down on the ground, but as he rolls, the Denver guy comes out with, "Oh, that's an interception." Then you had basically the exact same thing happen in the Bears game, but yet it was a catch.
Yep.
So I don't understand it.
No, and I think the whole thing of this, the eat the whistle, ref, at the end of the game. No, you shouldn't. Don't tell me you don't. Well, we really want the players to go ahead and decide the game. Well, then if that's the case, then ref that way from the opening kickoff.
Yeah.
Don't pick the fourth quarter to go ahead and do it when it was a penalty all the other times beforehand. You don't want to have any kind of strict rules and stuff like that. I mean, some of these things, we're going to suspend the guy for 2 days, 2 games without pay. I mean, yeah, from a pay standpoint, but my goodness gracious, I mean, I don't know. Just sometimes it's just the inconsistencies. I mean, the funny thing is the inconsistencies will not keep people away. It just gets people talking, and if people are talking, that's why basically free advertising, and no advertising is really is really bad. Most of it, it's all good.
I mean, I'm still in firm belief that Vegas runs the NFL, but
I mean, they basically do nowadays.
they're picking who's going to go and who's not going to go.
Yeah.
Think they'd pick their own team.
Yeah.
Well, at least they're picking number one.
Not it.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, the refereeing definitely needs to go ahead and get better.
He's overhaul.
You think about and then you look at the games. It would be nice if the quarterbacks can all play halfway decent, at least give their teams, a shot. Obviously, Bo Nix being out. I mean, obviously, he should be ready for camp. I can't believe a broken ankle is more than, let's say, whatever it is, 10 months or so from where we are today. So,
especially when he got his surgery today.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a tough luck, though.
And it wasn't actually broke, it was just fractured, but it's like you didn't even know it if you watched the play. It's like he went into the next play without an issue. I mean, you saw him wince a little bit on the sideline, but then when he's talking to the interview lady, he's sitting there all smiles and all. I mean, I know they got their adrenaline and they got the boot, the compression on there and all that, but still. I was like, how did he break his ankle?
Yeah, that's
Did
crazy.
he kneel and break it? I mean, how do you do that?
Well, they say that it was like the third play before the field goal.
Yeah.
So the only thing I can think of is they did have that designed rollout to the left where he was trying to get some yardage that way.
Mm-hmm.
So the only thing I could think of would have been a time when he would have gone ahead and, had an opportunity to do something to it. So I don't know.
There you go.
That would be awesome. See, out of nowhere, the ref gives him the Stone Cold Stunner. That would be awesome.
It's an RK out of nowhere.
I tell you, last night's game was really good.
I watched the replay of it, the highlights. It was good.
I think Mendoza, he didn't have a great game, but I think his showing leadership and toughness, I think he has secured his fate as the number one pick going number one. I don't know if it's the Raiders or not, because there is talk that the Raiders are talking to the Ravens about Lamar Jackson. And I'm hoping that Bain, the way he played last night, has showed enough that he's worthy of the number 2 pick. I'd pick him number 2 if I was the Jets. But
now, is a Hurricanes quarterback in the draft or no?
Yes. Carson Beck, yes. But I tell you, it's crazy. He graduated 2 years ago. He graduated 2 years ago.
Is that just extra availability from COVID or something? Or
I think it's between that and he got redshirted 1 year, I believe.
I think these guys coming out of college, it doesn't matter where they play. Really, I think they just are looking to, hey, I'm in the NFL for right now.
I think especially that guy, Mendoza, with how humble he is when you listen to him talk and everything. I don't really think he's looking at that. I mean, my gosh, to go from a 3-star recruit to, transferring, I forgot where he was, but transferred to Indiana, and then to go, 11-2 last year and 16-0 this year. Humble kid, I know the Raiders are not stupid enough to go ahead and, if they keep the pick, fall in love with anybody else where Mendoza would not get picked. number one, and he would go to the Jets at number two, but I don't see that happening. Just think the way the kid handles himself, the way he talks, the way he talks about team, 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 team. Everything's about the team. When you hear these interviews and stuff, I think he's a clear cut number one pick.
Yeah, I agree.
I think Bane's the better player, which I'm happy with him going number two to the Jets. But I think from a quarterback standpoint, Mendoza's the best one in this draft.
If I'm Mendoza, my exact thought in going to Vegas would be, well, at least I'm not going to be a Cleveland Brown. It can always be worse. At least there's some nice building blocks there in Vegas, and they're a little less dysfunctional than the Browns.
Well, I think with a lot of these guys, I think some of them go ahead, and the ones that come out early that should not come out early, I think some of those they look at as I want to get my clock started.
True.
Because I know if I'm a first round draft pick and I'm doing well, they're going to exercise the 5th year, so I'm going to be there 5 years. If you're Las Vegas, do you start him from the start or keep with Geno? I think because you are going to have a new head coach, I think a new head coach will want to start him.
Yeah, I would start him too.
I think it's going to come down to practice and maybe see how he does in some of the preseason games. And if he shows he's got the ability, then yeah, you'll start him.
What more can he learn from Geno that he isn't already learning?
No, I understand that. I'm just saying I think it's going to be down to how he does in practice and in those games, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he still could end up being the starter, yes.
Yeah, I think with some of these guys also, you got to look and, if you're, you're Geno Smith, and you were drafted by the Jets, you went to Seattle, you were going ahead and you went out there and they took you, you behind, Russell Westbrook, so you sit there, not Russell Westbrook, Russell Wilson. So you sit there and you learn and everything. I mean, Geno's been around a long time. Geno's 35. When you look at his stats and everything, I mean, he started playing football. He started in the NFL in 2013.
Yeah.
God bless.
Thank you. He started in 2013. He started, his first 2 years. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years. For the next 6, he was a backup. And you got to figure in his first 2 years, he had 30 starts. So he played in 30 games. Then in the next 6 years, he played in 15. And then he went to Seattle. When Russ left in 2022, he got the opportunity. And he played well. 4,200 yards. 3,600 yards, 4,300 yards. I just think this time, I think it's this time. It's just a matter of, do you think Mendoza can learn from Geno?
I think you can learn from anybody, but I don't think it's going to be super valuable. It's not the same as sitting behind an Aaron Rodgers or an all-time great. You know what I mean? You can still learn by the way the guy prepares and by the way the guy plays, but I think getting out there and just getting on the job training is going to be better for him. Unless he is behind somebody like Aaron Rodgers or somebody like that who, can sit there and kind of tutor him a bit.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I don't, what are your choices if you say, well, we're going to go ahead and we're going to pass, on Geno Smith, what are your other choices of who you could potentially consider, bringing in?
mean, it doesn't hurt to have them compete. Maybe you get Mendoza in and you realize, oh crap, this kid's not ready to start week one. You know, in which case you let Gino roll until you feel like he is ready. And then maybe by week 4, 5, 6, you start to transition to Mendoza.
Yeah, so you figure Gino really only had, when you look at his contract, he really only has 1 year left. And honestly, if you cut him, if you cut him and if you had somebody that you thought you could have as a backup that would be let's say a better teacher to a Mendoza, it's $18 million cap hit.
Mhm.
There are players that are that have a lot worse what do you call it? A lot worse, cap hits.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's it's one of those things where you look at it from a standpoint of, again, you don't have a coach right now. Like the big thing for them is they really should be focusing on an offensive-minded coach. They should not be focusing on a defensive-minded coach, because they're going to be bringing in a fresh new quarterback. I mean, you would think they would, but now you never know. Bain last night looked like the best player on that field. You just don't know. They may look and go, holy cow, Bain and Crosby. We have Gino. He's not that bad. He's 35. Just like every other team knows, if Mendoza's in next year's draft, he's not going. He's not QB1.
Yeah.
He's not the first quarterback. They could look and go, hey, you know what? We got Gino. We could ride with Gino for one more year. We take Bain. We have bookends between him and Max Crosby. And we'll take a shot at either a no-risk quarterback in this draft later on, or we'll wait until next year, and if we suck, we suck. We'll get a quarterback next year. It's interesting. It's an interesting position for them to be in.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah.
John, do me a favor. Tell everybody what's happening over on Brandon's channel at 9:30.
Okay, we a couple of guys got together and got Brandon a birthday / Christmas gift. And of course, I added some stuff for Christmas. I had a box ready to go for Christmas for him, so I just added to that. So he's going to be opening that. I don't know if he has anything else to open, but he's going to open that. It's kind of a huge gift from a bunch of the guys. So it'll be, nice to see him do that. Plus, just to see him probably talk sports and stuff. Who knows?
Cool. Yeah, so guys, if you're not following Brandon, there's the link to his channel right there. Go over there. John will be live with him. Show him some support. Show him some love. We'd appreciate that. Let him know you heard about it on Dialed In. That'd be cool. Michael, what's going on over on your channel?
We'll just be talking, we'll be talking sports tomorrow night. John and I will be on another sports talk podcast. There are a couple guys that I know from X that do a baseball program on YouTube. So I'm trying to see if maybe we might get them on, as we're getting closer to baseball season beginning. But we'll talk, Hall of Fame. A couple of players got selected in the Hall of Fame today. So we'll talk that. We'll talk, we'll talk whatever topics happen to come into our heads.
Oh, yeah, because we have a PLE too, the Saturday Night Main Event coming up.
True. I don't know what the card sounds like yet or anything.
Neither.
But we'll see. We'll talk probably a little bit what happened on Monday Afternoon Raw.
Some interesting stuff.
It'll
be fun.
Nice.
It'll be interesting with a PLE. They're not doing it, they're not showing it live, are they?
I don't think so.
Yeah, so that kind of sucks for
Although
Peacock.
it is in Montreal, so it's possible.
They come. Wow, so they're going to be bringing people back?
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure it's Montreal.
To then turn around and fly back out to Saudi Arabia right afterwards?
Yes, I mean, looks like you're going to have right now, from the way it looks, you're going to have the Randy Orton versus Trick Williams versus Damian Priest versus Sami Zayn for the number one contenders match.
That's right. That's for Drew's title.
You have Cody Rhodes and Jacob Fatu and the women's tag team match. So there's your 3 matches. They should have one more being announced at some point, I would imagine.
Nice. Well, yeah, guys, make sure you swing by Huddle Card Collection tomorrow night so you can hear about the PLE. You can hear about a bunch of different other sports talk. Also, subscribe to John's channel if you haven't already. I'll try to remember to link them down below. And then if you haven't subscribed over to Pittsburgh, make sure you do, because my wife and I have several vlogs dropping from Disney World and just other various places that we've gone to recently. And then tomorrow night, I'm going to be speaking at our church, so I'm going to try to record that and share that at some point this week as well. So,
nice.
Make sure you guys check it out. And yeah, that's all I got for this week. Anything else you guys want to talk about?
That's about it.
Alrighty, guys. Appreciate you watching. Until next week, God bless you.